If you want to get into beast mode, the first thing you need to conquer is not the gym, not the boardroom, not the battlefield, it's your mind. Everything begins and ends there, and one of the most powerful shifts you'll ever make is choosing mindset over mood. Your mood is temporary. It changes with the weather, with a rude comment, with fatigue, with hunger, with doubt. It's fragile, it's inconsistent, it tells you, I don't feel like it today. But here's the truth, the days you don't feel like it are the days that separate average from elite. Champions aren't built when they're in the mood, they're built when they move despite it. Your mindset, on the other hand, is the compass. It doesn't rely on feelings, it relies on commitment. It says, no matter how I feel, I will show up, I will execute, I will grow. That's beast mode. That's the shift from emotionally reactive to purposefully driven. Let's break it down. Mood says, I'm tired, I'll skip the workout. Mindset says, I'm tired, but I'll do it anyway. Progress doesn't care how I feel. Mood says, they didn't notice my effort, so why try? Mindset says, I don't do it for validation, I do it because I said I would. Mood says, this is too hard, maybe I'm not meant for this. Mindset says, this is hard, and that's why it's worth doing. You need to become someone who acts independent of emotions. Someone who can wake up exhausted, stressed, or discouraged and still take the next step forward. That's power, that's self-control, that's mental toughness. And no, this doesn't mean you ignore your feelings. You acknowledge them, but you don't let them dictate your actions. You lead your emotions, they don't lead you. Think about the top athletes, leaders, or creators in the world. Do you really believe they're motivated and full of energy every single day? No, but what separates them is their discipline, a mindset that says, I have a standard, I have a mission, I won't let my mood sabotage it. Beast mode is a decision, not a feeling. You don't wait to feel ready, you commit, and you align your behavior with your values, not your emotions. So when the alarm goes off and your body says no, listen to your mindset. When fear creeps in and your mood tells you to play small, listen to your mindset. When setbacks hit and frustration screams, give up, listen to your mindset. Because the beast inside you doesn't care how you feel, it only cares how you respond. If you want to get into beast mode, there's one place you need to dominate first, your morning. Why? Because the morning is your launch pad. It's the first battle you fight every day, and it sets the tone for everything that follows. When you start strong, you build momentum. When you start reactive, scrolling, snoozing, stressing, the day owns you instead of you owning it. Win the morning, win the day. It's more than a motivational phrase, it's a mindset, a system, and a secret weapon. Let's break this down. When you wake up, your mind is fresh, your energy is at its rawest. That window, the first 30 to 60 minutes, is sacred. If you start with intention, you build clarity, confidence, and control. But if you start with chaos, you stay in survival mode all day. That's why high performers, athletes, CEO, creatives, warriors protect their mornings like gold. They don't leave it to chance, they own it. Here's what winning your morning looks like. Get up before the world does. Early hours are quiet, focused, undistracted. That's when beast mode sharpens its edge. Move your body. You don't need a 2-hour gym session. Even 15 minutes of movement flips the switch. It wakes you up, boosts dopamine, and says, I'm in control. Feed your mind, read, listen, journal. Speak affirmations. Do something that feeds your mindset, not just your to-do list. The beast isn't just physical, it's mental. Visualize and plan. Take 5 minutes to see the day before it happens. Who are you showing up as? What are your top priorities? What distractions will you avoid? Set the tone, don't let life do it for you. Stay off your phone. One of the worst things you can do in the morning is scroll. When you consume before you create, you hand your power over to other people's opinions, drama, and distractions. Winning your morning isn't about having a perfect, rigid routine. It's about creating intentional habits that wake up your discipline and lock you into beast mode before the world even knows you're coming. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And your morning system determines how consistently and powerfully you show up. So here's the challenge, start tomorrow on purpose, even if you wake up late, even if you're tired, do one thing that moves you forward. One habit, one choice, one win. Because when you win the morning, you don't just get more done, you become the kind of person who's unstoppable by 9 a.m. That's the edge, that's the standard, that's beast mode. They're comfortable, convenient, they give us a back door when the pressure rises or the plan doesn't go our way. But here's the cold truth. Excuses don't build anything. They don't get results. They don't make you stronger, faster, smarter, or more successful. Excuses are the language of the average. Adjustments, those are the tools of champions. In beast mode, you don't make excuses, you make adjustments. Life will punch you. Your schedule will blow up. People will disappoint you. Your body will ache. Your plan will fall apart. That's not a maybe, that's a guarantee. So what do? You adjust, you adapt, you pivot and push forward, because quitting is not an option. You don't waste time complaining. You don't wait for perfect conditions. You don't say, I couldn't because. You say, how else can I make this happen? That's the difference between someone who's playing the game and someone who's building a legacy. Let's be real, everyone has excuses ready to go. I'm too tired. I don't have time. I'm not motivated. I've never done this before. I failed last time. But when you live in beast mode, none of those excuses matter, because your goals matter more. Because your standard is higher. Because your identity is rooted in execution, not explanation. You don't shrink when life gets difficult, you shift. Can't get to the gym, work out at home, missed your early morning. Own the next hour, low on motivation, show up anyway and build it through action. Don't know how, learn, research, ask, adjust. Excuses give you emotional relief. Adjustments give you long-term results. Every successful person you admire in sports, business, art, fitness, or life got there because they adjusted when things didn't go according to plan. They figured it out. They kept moving. They kept showing up even when it wasn't pretty, perfect, or comfortable. That's what resilience looks like. That's what mental toughness is. That's what beast mode demands. You're not always going to feel like doing the work. That's normal, but you don't need ideal conditions. You need a mindset that refuses to fold. You need a will that says, I'm going to find a way no matter what. The road won't be smooth, good. That's where warriors are forged. So next time the excuse shows up, catch it, call it out. Replace it with an adjustment, a plan, a next step. Even a small one, because every time you adjust instead of excuse, you're training your mind to overcome instead of retreat, and that over time makes you unbreakable. If you want to live in beast mode, understand this: effort is your edge. You don't need to be the most talented, the most connected, or the most gifted, but you must be the hardest worker in the room. And more than that, you must be willing to outwork the old version of yourself every single day. That's the difference between potential and performance, between talking about success and becoming it. The truth is, talent gets outpaced by hustle. Natural ability fades if it's not sharpened, and nobody cares about your potential if you're not producing. Outwork everyone, not for ego, not for attention, but because you have a vision and you're obsessed with earning it. But here's the deeper layer: don't just compete with the world, compete with you, outrun your path. Outtrain your habits, outlast your excuses. The real race is internal, it's UVS. The version of yourself who gave 80%, who hit snooze, who let fear drive the wheel. When you make it your mission to beat that version of yourself every single day, you become unstoppable. Ask yourself, did I show up with more focus than I did yesterday? Did I push one step further when it got uncomfortable? Did I leave any potential untapped today? Because beast mode isn't about being the best right now, it's about getting better relentlessly. You have to learn to embrace the grind, the early mornings, the late nights, the lonely hours where no one is watching, but everything is being built. That's where greatness is forged. That's where the beast inside wakes up and says, this is who I am now. It's not sexy. It's not always exciting, but it's consistent, and that's what separates winners from wishers. Remember, hard work compounds. The reps you put in today might not pay off tomorrow, but they will show up. Maybe in a month, maybe in a year, but they will. The gym you grind in, the books you read, the hours you put in when others are relaxing, that's your edge. And here's the truth: there will always be someone with more advantages. Someone with better genes, better connections, better timing, but nobody, and I mean nobody, should be able to match your effort. That's something you control, that's your weapon, so wake up hungry. Show up prepared, stay locked in, and when you feel tired, when you feel tempted to slow down, remember this: you're not just working for a goal, you're working to become the kind of person who never stops pushing. Outwork everyone, outwork your past, outwork your limits, and the world won't have a choice but to take notice. That's beast mode. If you want to stay in beast mode, you've got to do more than grind, you've got to protect your energy like your life depends on it. Because it does. Energy isn't just about physical strength. It's your mindset, your focus, your presence, your emotional fuel, and in a world full of noise, negativity, and endless distractions, protecting that energy is a survival skill, a weapon that separates the powerful from the drained. Think of your energy like currency. Every thought you entertain, every person you engage with, every minute you spend, you're either investing it or wasting it. And just like with money, if you don't track your energy, you'll wake up bankrupt. Beast mode means being ruthless about what gets access to you. That starts with the people around you. Some people fuel your fire, others drain it. You know the difference. The ones who gossip, complain, make excuses, or always focus on what can't be done, that's dead weight. And dead weight sinks ships. You don't have time to entertain toxic energy if you're trying to become unstoppable. You don't need to explain your grind to people who aren't chasing anything. And you definitely don't need to feel guilty for cutting off what's killing your growth. Protecting your energy also means mastering your inputs. What are you feeding your mind? Are you watching content that builds you or breaks you? Are you filling your feed with creators who inspire you or distract you? Because whatever you consume, you become. You don't have to unfollow everyone in real life, but you do need to filter what you allow into your mental space. Then there's your focus, one of your most valuable forms of energy. Multitasking, constant notifications, mindless scrolling, that stuff eats your edge. It destroys momentum and drowns clarity. You've got to build boundaries even with good things so you can double down on great things. Set blocks of time where you go deep. No phone, no noise, just you and your mission. That's where beast mode thrives, in undistracted, locked-in effort. But protecting your energy isn't just defense. It's offense too. It's about charging yourself intentionally. Get your sleep. Recovery is part of domination. Move your body. It's not just fitness, it's fuel. Spend time in silence or solitude. Reset your mind. Surround yourself with driven, positive, disciplined people who match your intensity. Here's the bottom line: you can have the strongest work ethic in the world, but if your energy is leaking through bad habits, bad company, or bad priorities, you'll burn out before you break through. So take full control of your environment, be intentional with your time, be selective with your company, and above all else, guard your energy like a beast guarding its territory. Because when your energy is clean, focused, and protected, you become unstoppable. If there's one secret to beast mode that separates the talkers from the doers, the wishers from the winners, the average from the elite, it's this: be ruthlessly consistent, not occasionally consistent. Not when I feel like it, consistent, ruthlessly consistent, unshakable, relentless, obsessively dependable in your habits, your work ethic, and your standards regardless of how you feel. Because motivation is temporary. Excitement fades, life throws curveballs, but consistency, that's what builds results that last. Beast mode isn't about explosive once in a while efforts, it's about showing up especially when it's hard. It's putting in the reps when no one's watching, it's doing the work when it's boring, when it's slow, when there's no praise or spotlight. Anyone can grind for a day, real beasts grind for years. You want to change your life. Don't wait for inspiration, build a system. You want to master your craft. Don't chase perfect moments, stack imperfect efforts. You want to dominate your goals. Don't rely on hype, rely on habits. Because every great transformation, every great success story is built on the foundation of simple actions repeated with brutal consistency over time. You don't have to be amazing every day, you just have to never disappear. One skipped day becomes two, two becomes a week becomes regret. Beast mode doesn't vanish when it's inconvenient, it adapts and endures. Let's make this real, not in the mood to train, show up anyway and move. Feeling uninspired to create? Sit down and make something even if it's messy. No big wins today, stack small ones. Didn't crush it yesterday, good. Today's your next rep. Consistency is a compounding force. Each day you show up, you earn another % of progress, another inch of growth, another level of discipline, and over time that adds up to something unstoppable. But here's the hard truth, the world won't clap for your consistency. You won't get likes or applause for being disciplined. You'll do the work quietly. You'll get better silently. And that's exactly how greatness is born, in the dark, in the repetition, in the grind. So hold the line, stick to the schedule, trust the process, be the kind of person who can't be moved by mood swings, obstacles, or setbacks. That's what being ruthlessly consistent looks like, deciding who you are and proving it every single day. Because in the end, it's not about one big moment of glory. It's about becoming someone the world can't shake, because you've already done the work 1,000 times over. Consistency builds confidence. Confidence builds momentum, and momentum builds a monster. That's beast mode.